Hello, and welcome back to another FPL video. Today, we're going to finish up the squads that I didn't manage to rate on my latest stream where I was rating your drafts. Sorry it took so long, but I had a heavy schedule. I had to pre-record several videos. It was all shambles, but one week later, something like that, we have some rating drafts for you, and let's see how it goes, and let's see how the drafts are going to turn out. I have a vacation now, and I'm on a vacation basically. So when I return, I will be doing one more of those streams for sure. I quite like it. I like interacting with you. I like building different drafts, seeing different perspectives. All of that is giving me so much hope and so much joy that I don't want it to stop. But yeah, that's going to be the rating for this week. Maybe next week we'll start with more drafts, with more videos, with more everything. But yeah, let's concentrate and let's start with the ratings. So now we're going to see Ben's team. He has 0.5 in the bank. He told me that he's going to plan to use the bench boost and then use a transfer in game week 3 to bring in Palmer instead of Son. So that looks like a plan, honestly. I quite like it. Let's see how the draft has turned out. So he has Salah, Son, Fernandes, Isaac, Wood, Muniz. Yes, seems reasonable. In attack, Eze is there, Mikulenko, Trent, Guardiola, and Raya. As you guys know, I just don't like picking Raya. He's the cheapest option to the Arsenal defense. That's true, but why don't you pick Ederson when it's the cheapest option to Manchester City's defense? For the same reason, because he doesn't bring any points apart from the clean sheet points, and if by some reason they concede a goal, the clean sheet is gone and it's just a 2-pointer from a 5.5 keeper, and that will hurt, while the defenders can score a goal, can assist, can make some things outside of the field. The Raya goalkeeper is not for me, so I don't like that. He doesn't own any City attackers, any Chelsea attackers, any Aston Villa attackers, bar Rodgers, who is not yet nailed for now, sorry, and no Arsenal attackers, and that quite hurts in my opinion. 3 of the best 4 attacks are not very well represented, even though he has Son, he has Bruno. Those are some differentials that can boost him up. It seems a little bit tricky, and using that chip on a player like Barco, who, okay, he can do bits, but still, Rodgers, it doesn't feel like the best bench boost draft. A lot of strategies right now revolve around bench boosting in game week 1 and then wildcarding for game week 2. Last year, one of the YouTubers called... I forgot his name, how he was called, but yeah, used that strategy. It paid out for a little bit, but after that, it was not working for a very... Nathan Bacon, yeah, that was the guy. It didn't work very far forward. He was number 3 in the world at the start, but after that, it just failed massively, and yeah, maybe that's not the ideal strategy. A lot of players in defense heavily invested. Arnold, I don't quite like it. I prefer to go down to Saliba, drop down Raya to a 4.5, and you have millions to improve Rodgers to at least Bailey or something else. You can go for a City attacker somewhere. But yeah, without City, without Arsenal, and without a proper Villa attacker, that seems quite tricky. And as I mentioned, I don't like it. You have Isaac, you have Salah, you have Son Fernandes. So that gives you a rating of 7.5 out of 10 for Ben. Now, the next draft that we're going to discuss is from David. He has 0.5 in the bank once again. He has Sanchez, Burn, Mikulenko, Konsa, and Anderson. So 2 players that are... 4 defenders for 4.5, which is alright. I was on that strategy before and it's nothing wrong with it. Palmer, Salah, Gordon, Foden, Gibbs, White, Havertz, Watkins. To be realistic, this guy owns every attack possible bar Spurs that are good. So yeah, I'm tempted to say I like it. He has Armstrong, who feels like a little bit of a waste to own because you're not benching any one of those guys. Maybe Gibbs White, but with the first 3 fixtures, when are you playing Armstrong and why the hell would you be playing Armstrong? Maybe going for Isaac instead of Gordon can become better if he drops Armstrong and drops Gordon, picks Isaac, and then picks a 4.5 midfielder. This is going to be feeling better as Isaac is on penalties, and at home Isaac just can't miss. The defense is alright, you can invest a lot, you have the Foden coverage, you have the Palmer, you have the Havertz one. So if you bring in Isaac, I believe that can become an easy 9 at least 9 out of 10, but without Isaac I cannot give it more than 8.5. Sorry about that, man, but yeah, heavily invested in attack and owning a bench option that it's most probably never going to be an option, and not owning Isaac for me seems like a little bit risky, and I don't quite like that. So 8.5 out of 10 for David, and we can proceed with the next one. The next one is from Yappi. He specifically wanted to be rated on a video, so here it is, Yappi, for you. Sanchez, Burn, Gvardio, Gay, Madsen. Okay, I don't know why Madsen is benched when he's 5.0 and you're expecting a lot of goals. Maybe because they have Brentford and Southampton. Speaking about Burn and Gay, but in my opinion, you should try and fit him in. Harwood Bellis is pretty regular. Joao Pedro is pretty regular as well. Eze, Kudus, Foden, Salah, Odegaard, Watkins, Isaac. So you basically once again own everyone from the best attacks. No Spurs and no United here and no Chelsea, but you can easily get to those guys. Kudus is a little bit of a differential pick. I quite like him. I quite like Kudus as an option, but maybe not from the start, like Villa, Palace, City, Fulham. Doesn't scream a lot of goals. Let's see how the new manager is going to uphold the things. But yeah, no Haaland yet to be seen in any of those 3 drafts, but still I'd quite like that. As a draft, I can give it a 9 out of 10. He has an expensive defender, he has a proper midfield, he has a proper attack, a solid bench options. Maybe if he drops Joao Pedro and reinvests the money for Kudus, maybe becomes a better option, but he still has he will have 1.5, so that leaves him to an 8. Maybe if he drops Madsen to a Konsa, it will get to 8.5 and he can fit in Bruno Fernandes, but that's personal choice. I don't like the 8 attackers to be rotated. Feels like a waste. You are always in a deliberation what's going to happen. Yeah, you can say there are fixtures, blah, 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 but an attacker can score in every fixture, and if he's on the bench, it's going to hurt you. My strategy overall is to never to go with a very good attacker on the bench that is going to return regularly, because it's going to hurt being on the bench and you not playing him. So yeah, my advice to everyone is go with the strongest possible 11, have a 12th player to be rotating in defense so you can cover, and after that you can manage with transfers, but still a very solid draft, 9 out of 10 as already mentioned. Going into the next one, this is going to be Hararis, and let's see what he's got. Henderson, Saliba, Burn, Dunk, Mikulenko, and Bednarek. Okay, this seems nice. Salah, Gordon, Eze, Semenyo, Haaland, Isaac, Mateta, and Twink. So this is the first Salah and Haaland draft for today. Isaac, Gordon, okay. Eze, Mateta. I don't quite like Mateta yet. Listen me out about this. He is going to be playing on the Olympics. If France reach the final, that's going to be played 1 week before the start of the Prem. That means that if he's going to get a rest after that, he's going to miss several fixtures. But if he is not going to take a rest, that means that he will be in full form, and that might be a brilliant thing, because a guy already in form coming game week 1 might be brilliant, and I might need to go for Mateta if that's the case. But for now, I would steer away from him. Maybe go for another 6.5 midfield option and maybe increase Semenyo to a 6.5. It can be a shout out. You don't own Gvardio, but that's not a necessity. You own Saliba, so if you prefer Arsenal, I would go there. Burn, Gordon, and Isaac, for me it's too much Newcastle. I would go for a Villa defender. I don't like the triple ups overall. That's my worry about the drafts. Like, the triple ups are never for me for the start of the season. You need to, if let's say Gordon is performing and you want to bring in Jacob Murphy, for example, you have to sell Gordon in order to bring Jacob Murphy with 1 transfer. But if that doesn't happen, you have to sell either Burn or Isaac, so you're limited a little bit. But if you feel like Newcastle, those are the 3 best players, go for it. If you feel like those are the 3 best Crystal Palace players, go for it. But I believe you can manage with 2 at the start, and if someone emerges, you can quickly bring him in, and now you have 3 and you'll be more than delighted. But starting with 3, it's pretty risky, as we have 0 information that is legit information before game week 1. But yeah, 7.5 out of 10 for you, Havari. I just don't like the triple ups, and I don't like Semenyo, to be fair. And you don't have Arsenal, Villa attack, Spurs attack, Chelsea attack. A lot of attacks are not covered, in my opinion, while they start with an okay fixture on most of them. So you cannot not own several of those teams. Like, this is too stacked in my opinion, and it's not for me. Sorry. Next up is Nist. He replied to my Twitter post, so let's see what he has. He has Turner, Burn, Andersen, Yoru, Mikulenko, and Barco. Okay. Turner is not going to be playing Nist, so yeah, I think to discuss there. Palmer, Saka, Bruno, Eze. I'd quite like that. Joao Pedro, Haaland, Isaac, and Bergwall on the bench. Okay, so now Turner and Flecken, I believe it doesn't matter. So Flecken is in goal. Quite like it. And it's an okay choice. Burn, Andersen, Yoru, Mikulenko. So you're going for 4.5. Euro is not the best in my opinion. If you want to go for a Man United defender, just go for Martinez. I believe he is more accustomed to the Prem now, and he is going to be a better choice. Palmer, Saka, Fernandes, Eze, I don't see a flow here. It's good. Joao Pedro, Haaland, and Isaac, I quite like that as well. You don't own Liverpool and Spurs and Villa attackers, so that might be an issue. But you've covered most of the bases. I can give that. If you change the players around, 2 out of 4 at least you own. So yeah, 8.5, it can be given to you, Nist. I quite like this draft. It's a little bit differential. Liverpool is a big miss because they have such a good fixture run, but barring Salah, it's a stretch to go for Darwin, and it's not for me personally. Joao Pedro is not quite my favorite, but if you like him, you can go for him if he's fit, of course. Next up, we have Gibsy. So he has Sanchez, Alexander-Arnold, Porro, and Mikulenko. Okay. Then you have Salah, Son, Palmer, Gordon, Eze, Wood, Pedro, Armstrong. Okay. I don't like this draft at all. First of all, if you're going for such an expensive defense of Arnold, Porro, and Guardiola, why the hell do you need one 4.5 option and then a 4.0? Just go with the 4.0. You're never not picking those three. Like benching a 6.0 defender for a 4.5 seems like questionable in my opinion, so I don't like that part. The attack is quite light. Like honestly, if something happens to your attackers, who are you bringing in? Like there is no one around that price range bar Muniz, who you cannot reach from Joao Pedro and Armstrong. But honestly, yeah, little bit light there. Maybe transfer out Gordon or someone or Eze just to fit in a striker. Maybe Gordon for Isaac if you sell Armstrong. It sounds quite nice. In my opinion, Wood and Joao Pedro are not the problems, but you can save some money going for from Mikulenko to a 4.0 option because realistically you're never changing. But yeah, okay, you have a bench option. Let's say we can deal with that. But bar that, I'm not too overly excited. I don't like the attack, honestly. And the midfield is good. I can give you that. You don't own any City, any Arsenal, any Villa, any United players. So that's a big miss for me. So yeah, a 7.5 out of 10 for you, Gibsy. Next up on the horizon is Luke. And Luke sent me a draft without one player. But let's analyze it without it. So Sanchez, Andersen, Konsa, Cowell, Fires. I imagine it's a 5.0 defender. So I predict Muniz. Let's say it's Muniz. Salah, Palmer, Gordon, Foden, Son, Isaac, Muniz, and Cannon. So Munoz and Muniz. Okay. So Sanchez, Cowell, double up. I don't like it. I don't like a double up in defense. So far, early in the season, you don't even know if those two are going to be playing. Let's say you have one Chelsea coverage. You can go for Everton coverage as they're having a really good fixture. Sanchez is okay. Just transfer out Cowell and you have Mikulenko. You can go for Muniz. If you go for Munoz, I will not be liking Andersen, so you have to sort out the defense. Up front, I quite like it, bar not having Arsenal player and Villa player, but you cannot own them all, so I would say Son, Foden, Salah, and Palmer and Isaac are going to compensate, so I quite like that. If you manage the defensive problems, that can become a 9 out of 10, but for now it's an 8 out of 10 because I don't really like the defense. And the last team that we're going to discuss is Franchesca. So Pickford, Robinson, Tomiyasu, Boli, Salah, Gordon, Eze, Johnson, Haaland, Isaac, Wood, Fires, Harwood, Bellis, Wings. So here I see only one issue, and that issue is what I was going to say. Yeah, that issue is Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu is not going to be playing. Let's be real. You need to find a replacement for him. This is one of the first Robertson that I've seen so far, but I quite like the shout out. It can go from Robertson to Guardio. It can go to Saliba. You can go to several different branches. And for the first week, you are avoiding the hard fixture. You have only one hard fixture in the first 7, so I quite like that. Just find a replacement for Tomiyasu. Maybe go for Andersen. Maybe go for Konsa. Maybe go for someone else because Tomiyasu is not playing and you will be relying on a 4.0 defender. Bar that, the best 4 teams to own in attack were Liverpool, City, Spurs, Arsenal and Aston Villa. So you don't own Arsenal and Villa, but you own Spurs, Liverpool and City, so that's alright. You cannot own them all as we already got to here. If you change the defensive shenanigans, it can go to a 9, 9.5, but for now, with that defensive issue with Tomiyasu, it's an 8.5, let's say. So Franchesca, that's an 8.5. I hope you quite enjoyed this rating, guys. If you want to your draft rated, I will be posting soon thread where you can put it. I will be telling you when I'm going live, so you can come and join. I hope you are having a lot of fun. For sure I had. I hope I have not been too harsh. I haven't given any bad reviews so far, but yeah, at least 2 of the top 4 teams in attack you should own. 2 is the minimum, 4 is ideal, but 3 is okay, especially if you own Spurs. If you own Newcastle, you can manage that, but 2 is the minimum for anyone that's yet wondering. I hope you're enjoying this type of videos. I will see you soon with another video and then with another stream. But for now, guys, I'll be heading out. Bye.